Wrap it up. We have a new comedian tonight. He's never been here before at NRG, but I think you're going to like him. That's my opinion. I'm going to stick to it, though.
Yeah.
He did win the Vermont's Funniest Comedian Contest 2017, I think. My facts are right. I did the Google, and I think that's what I came up with. So please give a warm welcome to Tim Bridge.
So much, everybody. Give it up for everybody who you saw perform here tonight. It's such a fun atmosphere. I was just in the restroom before coming out here, and I just want to address that I did not mean to look like Harry Potter joined a ska band, but that's what I look like tonight. So let's all just revel in that and move forward. I do comedy. I just recently took a trip to New York City. Good old New York City. I did some comedy shows in New York City. I did it because I was just so sick of breathing. Oh, guys, it's overrated. I like to chew my air. Go to New York City where you can see the air. That's what you want in a city. First night in New York City. First night in New York. And I saw a man driving a car get pulled over by a cop for running a red light. And that's not that weird, but New York made it weird. The cop was riding a horse. Which, I feel like that's what people think happens all the time in Vermont. Like, from the city. Just like, you just have a horseback militia, right? Out there. But no, in New York. And I didn't know who of the three living individuals in that situation to feel worst for. Because at first I thought it was the driver of the car. Because what's the point of getting a car if you can't outrun a cop on a horse? That's why you get it. That's part of the itinerary when I go to the Automaster. Just like it's got to outrun a cop on a horse. It's the only thing that I need out of this thing. Then I thought it was the cop, because the cop's got to go through police academy, and if those movies are any indication, it's a difficult and hilarious process. Just to be put on horse duty? That's not that you're trying to be an intimidating, figure, a public figure, but you're just clopping around? No, I'm not scared. But then I landed on the horse. You gotta feel worse for the horse, because that's a horse in New York City. That's terrible. Horse has gotta run. You don't put Sonic the Hedgehog on meter maid duty. That's cruel what you're doing. Also, it's a police horse. And so I've never been very much in a position of power, but if I were a police officer, I would like, for my own, comfort, to be, when arresting someone, not to have a bag taped to my butt all day to just catch my poop, because that's what horses in New York is. Why does it smell so bad in this city? Because there's horses pooping everywhere. It's a wonderful place. I miss it. This is just seltzer. I'm a good boy. I'll tell you guys a little bit what's going on with me. I recently moved in with my girlfriend. It's a big deal. Big deal, moving in with your girlfriend. I am allergic to both her cats, so that's been an obstacle for me. But I have a dog, and so they stay away from me. It's a fun dynamic. But we've had one slight incident with moving in with a girlfriend. Here's something that you need to know about me right up top. I'm like a swell romantic fella. That's like what I'm into. I'm big into the romance. And so I was in bed with my girlfriend. Hold your applause. Thank you very much. It was sleepy time. It's time for sleeps. It was sleep time. And so before she drifts off into dreamland, I lean into her. I get right in her ear, and I whisper, "I love you," like the swell romantic fella I am. And she turns to me, she looks me right in the eyes, she smiles, and she says, "I need to remember to add pointed ears to the drawing that I'm doing of my Dungeons and Dragons podcast character. That way, everyone will know that she's half elf." I don't know if you guys have ever been in love before, but that's not what you say back when someone says I love. That's crazy. If I had gone up to her and I had said, I love you, and she had turned to me and been like, do you love me, you fat bitch? I'd have preferred that. Because that's at least relevant to what I said. I need to draw a picture of my Dungeons and Dragons podcast. A podcast is not a visual medium. I don't know what you're doing drawings for. It's frustrating. Trying to be the romantic swell fella that I promised you all that I was. And I just get hit with that. If I had gone up to her and been like, I love you, and she's like, do you love me now that I'm Ed Harris? I'm great. I prefer that as well. I could ask him what is happening in Westworld. What is that television show? If you, I don't know if anybody's seen, just a quick aside about Westworld. I don't know if you've ever seen that show. If you haven't, it's a fun show if you like doing a 1,000,000-piece puzzle in your brain every day. It's a fun show. The premise of the show is that it's a theme park that people can go to that's like the Old West. It's filled with hyper artificial intelligence robots, and it's made up to look like the Old West. Stuff goes wrong, and it's like artificial intelligence kind of stuff. But it's also an HBO show, so a big focus is just having sex with the robots. So that's just a fun part of it. So much so that there's no way that wasn't part of the pitch meeting for Westworld. They're just going in there, they're just like, all right, you guys, you know how whenever you go to Jurassic Park, you're like, I love it here, but I wish I could fuck the dinosaurs? Well, Westworld! Thank you for laughing at that. I was nervous about that one. We're a fucking dinosaurs crowd. That's great. That's fun. That's good to know. Some of you recoiled, and it's fine. I promise, I'm a swell romantic fellow. I'll tell you a little bit about this. The world is kind of nuts. The world's a little crazy right now. Don't really know what to do to it. I kind of like it, because that means that I get to do and be crazy into the world, and they're fine with it, because that's the new normal. This is the thing that I like to do. You can all feel free to do it as well. Are we all aware of the fast food establishment Moe's? Yeah, exactly. I'm going to talk about that. It's a Mexican-American fast food chain. It's a very unique place in that every time you go in there, the staff is required to scream at you, "Welcome to Moe's!" It's very off-putting for me. And there's no way they like doing it. So what I've been doing recently is that when I go to Moe's, I like to head them off. So when I walk in there, before they can yell, "Welcome to Moe's," I yell, "I am at Moe's!" And then I bathe in the chaos that I've just created. They do not know how to respond to that, you guys. It just becomes, "Shing, I am at Moe's! Welcome to... Oh no!" Do we still welcome him? He clearly knows he's here. Break them! Hashtag resist Moe's. That's what I'm talking about. There's another thing. A lot of people think that Donald Trump is the worst man in America, and I'm not necessarily inclined to disagree with that, but I feel like if you say that, you've never watched the television show Cake Boss. Because the Cake Boss is the worst man in America. If you haven't seen the show, which seems like most of you, this is what I like to call an uphill battle joke. You don't need to know about it. This is a man who owns a famous cakery in Hoboken, New Jersey. He makes beautiful, gorgeous cakes. I have no problem with the cakes. He makes the cakes so well that he has a television show about how well he makes the cakes. And yet, every single episode, he acts so shocked that he got an order. And it's so fake. It just cuts to like a one shot of him and he's just like, "Can you guys believe that the president of the New Jersey Devils hockey team wants me to make a cake for his wedding?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can. Cake boss." You are the self-described boss of cakes. Of course you do. And it's a reality show, so they gotta create drama, even when there's no fucking drama. So there's this one episode where they make a beautiful wedding cake, first 10 minutes of the episode, but this is a 22-minute program, so we gotta pad that shit. So Cake Boss comes bumbling into the kitchen, he's just like, "Hello, everybody! It's raining outside, so we can't take the cake into the van. You know what we gotta do? We gotta go up to upstate New York and visit my brother Richard. My brother Richard, he has a tarp." The whole rest of the episode, it's just them going to New York to get a tarp from his brother. And I shit you not, that his brother is the exact same as Cake Boss. This weird mirror situation where he answers the door. He's just like, "Thank you so much, bro. It's coming perfect. I need a tarp." "Well, of course you gotta get a tarp. You gotta put the tarp in front of the cake so the rain don't get on the cake. But we gotta bubble dum, bubble dum, bubble dum. I hate Cake Boss. Not about it. The worst thing about it is that by the time they got back to New Jersey, it stopped raining. Just be patient, Cake Boss. Be patient. I'll leave you guys with this. I'm glad that I'm in a relationship. I'm very happily in a relationship right now because I'm terrible at being a single man, like a single man. They're one of those singlemans that you see going on there. I'm bad at it. Like when I'm in public, and if I'm single and I see a couple, and it doesn't matter if you're an older couple or a younger couple, I hate you. Like it's something visceral. It's not your fault. It's my fault. Like when I see a couple in public and I'm single, like I morph into Vice President Mike Pence, and they morph into two men kissing, and I'm just like, ugh. Do you have to do that in front of me? I just want what you have. I don't like that guy. His tiny mouth. See, the next time you see a picture of that man, you'll laugh. You'll see it. You'll be like, he was right. It's so small. My girlfriend walked up to me the other day. She walked up to me the other day, and she was like, "All right, Tim, let's play a game. Fuck, marry, kill." And I was like, "Game? That's the plan." Now, for some reason, I don't have a girlfriend. All right, that's all I got, you guys. Thank you.